Okay, since my man Olav out there in Norway asked me to do Zbrush and Cinema 4D, I'm gonna do that for you super fast because I have to get to work, but I figure I'd do another tutorial while I'm like tutorialing. So I'm gonna be using Cinema 4D 11 and Zbrush, the new Mac version, whatever it is, I don't know. So let's start in Zbrush. And this does a lot of sculpting and like super ultimate mega hella millions of poly stuff, but we're gonna use it for simple things because that's what I think it's really good at too. So we're going to use these magical things called Z-spheres that have changed my life. And if you're struggling with 3D and building models, organic models, this might change your life too. And I just showed it to these dudes at the coffee shop, and they were all like, "Oh my God!" So I figure I should show you because you know me better than some dudes at the coffee shop. But so I just created a Z-sphere, and I'm going to make it editable. That's what you need to do to everything in ZBrush. So this is this weird little proprietary thing. So the way it works is that I'm in draw mode and you just add, I'm shift clicking, so I'm adding these little balls the same size as the one that's already there. Um, and now right now they're just these weird little balls. They're not polygons. But since there are these strange things called Z-spheres that are unique to ZBrush, they do a lot more. And they do things that you can't do easily with polygons. So right now there are these little balls, right? So I'm just going to line these up. But if you press the A key, they preview as polygons. So this is what this would look like as polygons, but then later you can subdivide and stuff. So I'm just going to really quickly, I'm going to go to the transform palette and click here to stick this on the side. And I'm going to turn on symmetry. And you'll see why. Oops, I'm in the wrong axis or whatever. Okay. So now, these would probably something that, oops, let's change the draw size, that would liken to arms or shoulders, right? So if we preview it, you know, I'm going to go pull this out some more. And you know I'm going to do this really fast. So all I'm doing is clicking and then dragging out, and I'll do my lazy man's hammer stump hands because they're easy. But if you've tried any other like 3D box modeling or, oops, anything else before, you can probably already see that, like, oh wow, you know, I'm making something that already kind of looks like a person really fast. And you do get those weird things. You just have to know to keep your Z-spheres from like crossing each other. See these things, these trunks or whatever they are, if those overlap you get weird stuff. So um, you can modify the model later, which I'll show you. But let's just keep it simple for now. So I'm trying to do this fast. I don't want this video like to be like 40 minutes. So I'm not going to make anything that looks pretty. I'm just going to make a basic figure, because just so you get the idea. Okay, so I'm just clicking and dragging these out. It's really easy. And at any time, you know, that you want to, you can go and move these things. So, you know, oh, I want the shoulders up some more. Oh, I want this hand down there. Oh, I want him to be fatter. You know, there you go. Now he looks like a turkey. Let's make his knees bigger to hold up his turkey stomach. You know, so it's pretty, and it's as easy as I'm making it look. This isn't hard at all. Okay, dude needs a neck. Well, some people, I guess he needs one. Some people don't. Okay. And all this stuff, I've only been using this for, I think, like 2 months. So I just learned all this stuff through free tutorials, just like this one on the interweb. There's this dude, I don't remember his name offhand, Jason something, but he made all these free tutorials that I found on at ZBrush Central, which is a site you can go to. So that's like a person, right? Kinda. Okay. So then I'm going to take this little pudgy person, I'm going to look at him. So like I said now, these polygons are just for preview. Let's make his feet or ankles bigger. Okay. So now these polygons are just for preview. To turn them into real polygons so you can sculpt them and move them, you go over here and click Make Poly Mesh. Now it's telling me there's 420 polygons, whatever. And then you can go in here and subdivide it and sculpt on it, but I'm going to want to texture it later in Cinema 4D, so I need to generate UVs. Now, don't ask me what UVs are, don't ask me why I have to generate them other than it makes things work. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to export an OBJ file, which is like a Universal 3D format of this model. So I'm going to export it to my desktop, or actually, yeah, my documents. Let's call them dough. So it's an OBJ file, and this is actually the workflow I'm using to work on the new movie too. So then I'm gonna go to merge objects, and I'm gonna go find that guy. His scale will probably be off. Wait, no, oh, he's kind of big, but he's a big dough guy. So then what do I do in here? I could have done some more modifications in ZBrush too. Like I would have fixed his ankles in there, but you can actually do that in here too. So I'm gonna go pull the points out for his ankle. So I said select all elements so it gets both sides. I'm gonna pull those out, and then let's look at him. What else? You can do cool stuff like, okay, let's make it look like he's wearing a jacket or something. So let's go into this view. Let's look at our polygons, and this is the wrong side. Let's go to back view. So let's, this guy, what do you think? Does he need some pants? So let's go into poly mode, again, selection, square selection. Let's just say those are going to be his pants, and I'm just going to extrude that. So now dude has pants, because, I don't want him to get arrested for indecent polygonal exposure or something. So now when I'm making these further selections, I'm holding down the shift key so it adds to my selection, because if you let go and do it again, it'll lose them. So I'm holding down shift right now to do this. And then I'm actually saying I want his shirt to go down further, so I'm switching, I'm pressing K to go to the knife tool, and then I'm turning off visible only and restricted selection so I can cut it down there. Pressing the space bar, because if you press a space bar, you toggle back and forth between your active tool and the selection tool. So that's how you work really fast. So going back there, and then I'm holding down shift again to add to my selection. Then I'm going to press D to do another extrude. Oops, and I see over here I missed a polygon on the dude's finger. So I'm going to go back to my tool and select that one. Press D, extrude. So now, oh wait. Should I leave this like this? What do you think? He has two different sleeves. Yeah, let's let him be unique. Why am I trying to impress him? Okay, so now we have that, and then let's just go and give the dude some eyes. I'm going to press I to do an inner extrude, undo preserve groups so they separate each other. Otherwise, they'll stay the same. And then I press D to extrude again, I to inner extrude again. There we go, and then let's give him a gigantic mouth. I'm pressing I. This time I want to preserve groups because I want them to stay together to make one mouth. Oops, didn't want to do that. D to pull it out, I, D again, and I'm dragging. And then here's a really easy way to make teeth, like square teeth, like the way I do it. I'm going to be fancy and press the V key and go to Functions and go to Subdivide 1. And then now you can see it's all those different polygons. I'm going to press I again, undo preserve group so they're separated, and then extrude. So now he has all these weird looking teeth. Okay. So now here's our little pudgy guy, right, with weird pants. I'm going to save this in case the world explodes while I'm working, because the world does tend to explode. Let's call this guy explode. And then again, for some, I don't really understand this, it's just part of the process, but I have to generate UVs so I can switch my displacement maps out with ZBrush. So I switched to the Bodypaint 3D layout. I'm going to Tools, Paint Setup Wizard. Luckily, Cinema 4D is super smart, so it has this wizard that will lay out the UVs for you. So I'm just going to go to Next, Next, and I want high detail, so I'm going to make this map the max. You can make it 4096, and I want a displacement channel. And I learned how to do this from a video tutorial on C4dcafe.com, so that's how I learned this. So now it created the UVs. I'm going to go back to my standard layout, which is what I wanted in the first place. Or wait, no, I like the startup layout. Okay. So now I have this guy, and it's going to say, do you want to save textures? Yes. Okay. So now he has these UV things. Because what I'm going to want to do is create a, see, let's render. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to want to create a displacement map in Zbrush that's going to take this model, which is 700 polygons, but use detail up to like 1,000,000 or something. So, and that's way over 9,000, in case you were wondering. So I'm going to export it again as an OBJ, explode 1. But now this OBJ has UVs. So I'll show you why that's important. So I'm going to go back to ZBrush, and I'm going to initialize ZBrush because I don't need this crap anymore. No, I hate you. Okay. So now I'm going to go to import, and then I'm going to import that OBJ and draw them on here by clicking and dragging, clicking edit so I can actually do something. Spin him around. There's our guy, right? But he looks like he's clay, which is cool. Then I'm going to go to morph target. I'm going to store morph target. So it's target. So it's storing this original geometry. Then I'm going to go to geometry, and I'm going to divide this dude. See what happened? He just like went up in polys. Divide him again, until he's, now let's make him millions. Now he's, 2.8 million polygons. So I would never try to animate something that's 2.8 million polygons, and my system probably can't. And you can add detail on the lower levels, so we can switch to the levels, but I'm just going to do some fine texturing here because it's faster to do. So ZBrush has all these super cool brushes, so like check it out. Let's put stitches on this dude. Come on, computer, you can do it without dying. I think you can. I think you can. Oh, it did one. That was pretty gay. Okay, let's turn the intensity up so you can actually see these things. Because this is something that I wouldn't know how to like model. If I had to model that, you know, and it's super high resolution. So then they have all these alpha brushes. So let's go to the standard brush, and I'm gonna want to drag instead of painting. I want to drag something out. So let's say you want like creepy veins on this dude's legs. Check this out. You just drag them, and there they are. And again, this would be really hard to model. And there's all these different brushes you can use, and you can make your own, like they're just black and white images. And so it's really cool making your own. Come here, dude. I'm like exporting a video, so my computer's really slow. So if you want them to have like a rock head, you know, I'm trying to do this fast, so hopefully this isn't too long yet. So there's like this guy with like a rock head, and you could have tried to model this stuff, but it would be kind of hard to do. And then let's find something else. What do we want to do? Put stars on him? Let's give him a star on his hand. Star hands. Put a star on his forehead. Star head and like star feet. Okay, so now I have this little dude, right? Now, I don't want him to look like this. I don't want him all smoothed out, but you'll see what I'm going to do so he's not. So now I have this guy, right? So I'm going to switch him down back to his original subdivision level, which was like the 600 poly thing, right? And then I'm going to go down here and switch out my morph target, switch him back to the original.